Hello and welcome to the July 2025 Southern Maryland 2-Gun Mad Max edition. All the stages were inspired by the Mad Max series of movies. Let's get to it. I started off on stage 4 called Fury Road. Basic setups like you're in the cab of the truck of a war rig and you have to fight your way out and run along the back to engage more targets. And as an added bonus, you get the free Misty filter. It was pretty hot and humid in Southern Maryland, and the camera was a little fogged up for the first stage. This stage is kind of supposed to simulate being in the cab trying to engage a bunch of targets, and we had a nice mover here. And I unfortunately, despite designing and building all the stages, forgot that this was strong hand only. So I got a penalty per target on this stage for the pistol portion, and still managed to mess it up. Those swingers got really slow, and it was really hard to engage the center targets if you didn't engage those first. And I went very first on the stage, so everything was brand new. Then you need another activator here, and that was a pretty quick one in the back. And of course I forgot to load mag. And I was shooting in open division today. I was using a red dot with magnifier and a red dot on my pistol. And then the last set of targets here was slice the pie around the corner. And I have to talk to my cameraman. This stage was the worst of the day. It came in 37th. I was down 37 and 30 points in penalties. So that was just awful. Then it was off to stage 5, which was over on the rifle range. Mark designed this stage and did a great job. It was called Furiosa, and it was kind of set up with a SKS sniper rifle. Thank you very much to my father-in-law Rick for lending us his SKS. You have a full-size IPSC at about 75 yards, and you get one shot in your sniper rifle to engage. Then you come to the first position, and you have to engage 2 steel poppers, I think at 50 offhand. And I think I whiffed one of these. Oh, and this stage was all limited, so you can only take one shot at each target. So essentially everything's a high value target. Entering into the spirit of things is, if ammo is extremely rare, each shot really needs to count. And there's one target out at 100 yards here. And I think I got everything except one of the 50-yarders. So you clear your rifle, move to your pistol, and there's at about 20-25 yards, there's a target with a fairly tight no shoot next to it, and you had to take one shot around each corner of each side of the barrel. And this stage, I came in 13th, despite putting around all 6 rounds were a nice tight group in the no shoot. Apparently my red dot wasn't sighted in for 25 yards very well. It came in 13th on the stage, down 6 points and about 45 points in penalties there. Then it was off to pit 1, which is Mad Max. Kind of based on the first movie, you had to kind of simulate busting your way through a town where the bikers are taking over, and you have a hand ripped off from the bikers. You've got to throw back at them, so you have to stow the hand somewhere and then engage these targets. And of course, I left my magnifier on from the previous stage, so I had to get rid of that while transitioning to the second set of targets. And there's some down there, and there's one target there. Throw an extra one at it, and run up. And you had to throw the hand over the wall. And here, just switch shoulders here. And get some tight targets over there. I think I threw some extra ones at it, and I show clear. And there's just one pistol target. One target there, and you could transition to pistol anytime you want. And these last 2 here. That stage, I did a little better. Came in 10th, just a little slow, just down 3 on that stage. So not too bad. Things are getting a little better. Then it was off to pit 2, the Road Warrior. This was to kind of simulate defending the, I forget what it's called, like the gas town or whatever it was in the second movie. And there's a Lord Humongous downrange there. You had to make sure he got six shots. So And it was also to kind of simulate the tunnels in part of the movie.
So when I sling, I'm going to throw it over my shoulder.
My squad figured out a bunch of different ways to game this to make it more efficient. I ran it the way it was kind of intended to do. So I'll get going here and bang bang these 2 targets, and then you can run up the window. And you had to go to both ports essentially to see all the targets, but you had to remember which ones you engage from which place. So that was, there you get the humongous, get 6. And run over here, and there's just one more horizontal target over there, and that's just red dot, and then you show clear. And the original intent of this was to kind of crawl down a tunnel, but it really didn't work. And with the camera where it is, you couldn't see. And we caught a couple shooters with height overboard with red dots with your pistol, which was part of the intent of this. There's some pretty tight no shoots in there. This stage I did even better. My best stage of the day, it came in 9th. I was just down 4 and ran it pretty clean. So I was pretty happy with that. Then the last stage of the day was stage 3, Thunderdome. And this was kind of to simulate Bartertown, where they take all your guns and ammo. A pretty memorable scene from that movie. So you have to start with one pistol mag on one table, a rifle mag on another table, with 6 rounds loose. And you had to load the mags, engage some targets. We'll start with a pistol. You had to load your pistol mag, and you'll see it here. And then there are exactly six targets downrange. So if you shoot it clean, you can just take your 6 and move on. I did not manage to do that, but I also did not manage to hit the non-threats behind the steel poppers, which was just awesome. So that, I don't know how that happened. I think it was low and to the left. I gotta check my 0 on the red dot there. And then you take your chainsaw and you had to run across the pit, trying to start it, yelling Thunderdome. And once again, you got extra points for doing that. You get 3-second bonus for doing that. Then you load your pistol mag. You have to load your rifle mag and engage 3 targets right here. And I went unslung there. I realized I ran dry, so I think I was trying to do a make up there. And then you get a choice to go left or right at this final position to kind of hose down these last couple of targets, and I just let it rip. So for stage 3, it came in 17th, not super clean. I got a penalty somewhere in there, I forget what it was. And overall, it came in 15th, which is better than I've been doing at some recent matches. I think there was all kinds of goofy stuff going on this match, kind of by design, kind of helped. But did pretty well. And there you can see my stage to stage performance. It wasn't too bad, except for stage 4. That was a disaster. I don't think I've ever had 30 seconds in penalties before. And a shout out to Squad 4. This is us at the end of the day, and it was like 90 some degrees and 100% humidity. It was pretty blazing hot out there, and we had a great time. Everybody paced and helped out, ran smooth as silk. And I'd like to thank my father-in-law Rick for lending us his SKS to shoot the sniper portion of the match. It did great, better than the ones in the movie. And as always, thanks to Marilee, Gus, and Sprinkles for all their help. I couldn't do it without them, including going to Hobby Lobby to buy my hand prop. Thank you all very much, and I'll see everybody at the next match. Later.